Hello and welcome to The Cutting Room, the movie show from all the right movies. I'm John, and with me today it's Matt.
Hello.
And Westy.
Hello.
This is part 3 of our episode on The Thing, where we'll be talking about our highlights from the film and then giving the film our ratings. The first 2 parts are available here, and now it's our highlights. We've mentioned some great things about The Thing already, but what about our personal highlights? Westy, you want to go first? Your highlight from The Thing?
Yeah, my highlight from The Thing is we've touched on the scene. It's the blood test scene.
Yeah. Lovely.
Which is just a lesson in tension. It's just fantastic. I watched that one scene over and over again. I think it's just incredible. It's so rewarding. And McCready's performance, he's just so confident, isn't he?
Now I'll show you what I already know.
Yeah. Fucking yes. He's just great. He's just so confident. But everyone else is so worried at saying that was in answer to your question that you asked earlier, Johnny, like, do they know that they're the thing? And I think from McCready's performance, I think you kind of do. Because like Palmer's really shifty in this scene. He's really quiet. And when he sees his buddy, he's kind of like looking around thinking, oh God, right, is this going to work? Is it not? And just the way that you do it. I mean, what kind of genius thinks about this, right? I'm going to get you, cut your finger, right? So you loads of blood in there, not just a little bit, petri dish full of blood. And like when Windows cuts his thumb, if asked me, oh, Wesley, can I have some of your blood? It would be a tiny, tiny little prick there. You can have a little bit, mate. I am not slicing my thumb open. All of it is like, fucking yes. And he's not even, but that would knack for ages. No plasters. Now it would bleed out. You'd be like, none of that. Obviously, they've got bigger fish to fry in the scene, which is fair enough. I've never been in this situation. But I mean, I don't think I'd slice my thumb open. That would just add insult to injury. Let's be fair. And I'm going to heat the needle up. Actually, I'm going to strip the wire with a knife and then heat it up with a flamethrower. It couldn't get any more masculine than that, really. I mean, it's just ridiculous, but amazing. You're just like, yeah, I'm bought into this. And then you're just waiting and you just dismiss Palmer altogether. You're just totally on the back foot. And he's like, right, okay, well, we'll get to you next. Bang! What the fuck? And you're just thrown into it. Incredible use as well of like the split diopter in this, which is really De Palma, like in the start of the sequence, and just kind of everyone's on the same level. So it's just that sequence for me is incredible. It's incredible. Yeah.
It is. I mean, this is Carpenter's wheelhouse, isn't it? Suspense, tension building, and it all erupts when you're least expecting it to and becomes crazy. And there's another little use of practical effects in there that I really like. So the effects device that they used to create the blood jumping out of the petri dish was one long piece. They included the fake hand holding the blood sample, and they pushed the Thing blood sample strand up from that. So between shots, it cuts from Kurt Russell's hand holding the sample to the fake hand. But Carpenter cuts to the fake hand 2 shots before the Thing's blood jumps out. So we get used to the fake hand, and we don't notice it. So that's even more of a shock when it does happen. It's really
clever. You can tell it's there though. Now, when you know, you can tell. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. But like if you don't, you're just looking at his face and his hand's just out of focus in the foreground. It's great.
For my highlight, I'm going for the scene that comes just before the blood test involving the Thing, the Chest Chomper sequence. So also ridiculous. Copper defibrillates Norris, or tries to, and when he does, Norris' chest turns into a huge mouth with teeth, and it bites Copper's arms off. Then a neck and head shoot up out of Norris's chest. Then Norris's actual head detaches, drops to the floor, sprouts spider legs, and runs away. I mean, you've got to be fucking kidding, are the only words that fit. And it's my favourite moment in the film. Where Copper's arms are bitten off. That's fantastic. So unexpected. I know how they did that as well, was to have a real-life amputee wearing a mask of Richard Dysart, who plays Copper, and they bloody up his amputated arms, and Bob's your uncle. It's all just totally bonkers, but totally brilliant. Just classic The Thing.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
And Matt, what's your highlight from the film?
I've got to talk about the ending because I mentioned already how much I love the ambiguity in this film. There's no better illustration than that ending. And can you imagine how Carpenter must have felt when he viewed this for the first time in the final edit? That whole sequence of those two just sitting down in that conversation, he must have just been like, oh my God, I've nailed that. What an ending.
Yeah, brilliant. Because
it's so not perfect. And the great thing is, I'm sure after people watch this, YouTube will recommend them more videos about The Thing, particularly the ending. And it's a great rabbit hole to go down. Because the amazing thing is...
Still in there?
We've all been there.
We're still there. I can't get out.
The thing is, every theory you read about this ending is totally plausible. And, you know, I'm going to leave the floor options. I'm sure you guys have your own theories. I mean, me personally, how do I think this ending works. My reading is they're both human, because it just gives the film like one final horrible ironic twist to the knife, because they're going to die, they know there's no rescue, they're going to freeze to death, but they can't even be like companions for each other in this moment. They're going to die distrusting each other, because Charles thinks McCready could be the thing, McCready thinks Charles could be the thing, and that's how they're going to die. And there's no need to. They could at least reach out to each other, which is just like, say, really horribly ironic. So that's my personal take on the ending. But like, say, there's lots of others out there.
Yeah,
you're right. There's loads of theories out there. I've got a few written down here actually, which I'll mention.
Yeah.
In Bill Lancaster's original screenplay, he wrote two endings. One ended with both McCready and Childs turning into the thing in front of each other, and the other ended with McCready and Childs being picked up by a rescue helicopter. The insinuation being that neither was the thing. Then Carpenter wanted an ambiguous ending, though, and it was actually Kurt Russell who came up with the idea of the two men just staring each other down and fading to black.
Nice.
There was another ending that was shot by Carpenter but not used. In that ending, it was revealed that McCready survives. He's picked up by the rescue team, but Childs freezes to death, and McCready then passes a blood test, so he's not the thing.
Right.
Some people say that Childs is the thing because you can see McCready's breath, but you can't see Childs. But that's not true, because you can see Child's breath. It's just a bit more faint than McCready's is.
McCready's backlit, that's why.
Yeah. And maybe the most popular theory is around the bottle of scotch that McCready hands Childs at the end. McCready's been throwing around Molotov cocktails at the thing earlier, and it said that this bottle's filled with gasoline, not scotch. Childs drinks it and doesn't react to it being gasoline because he's the thing and doesn't know the difference.
Yeah.
And finally, something that Carpenter and Cundey did through the film to subtly signal who is the thing was to put a light gleam into the eyes of people who were human to signify life. And in this final scene, neither McCready nor Childs have got that gleam, but Carpenter did that on purpose to leave it ambiguous.
Right.
And for me, that's the point. It is ambiguous. I think Carpenter wanted to make the point about paranoia and mistrust that it's very difficult to get rid of once it's there, and he does this by, at the end of the film, leaving McCready and Childs in the exact same position they were 2 hours earlier. They still don't trust each other, and I don't think we're meant to know who's who, because Carpenter doesn't know. That's the whole point. Nobody knows, I think.
Yeah, totally. There's another thing about Childs as well, where you've got that shot earlier on where he's standing guard looking out the window, and then it cuts to something else and it goes back, but Childs is gone and the door's wide open. Some people have pointed out that if you look at the coats on the pegs in the background, in that second shot there's one less coat, or they've been moved around, so the theory goes Childs has been attacked and stripped through his clothing, so he's taken that coat off the peg because he needs replacement, and that's why Childs is the thing. Which, I mean, it could just be a continuity error, to be fair. You know, they've forgotten where to put the
which
coat.
is probably more plausible.
Which probably is more plausible. But that's the thing about the ending, isn't it? There's so many stuff you go, oh, well, that must mean something. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's great because it spills over as well. If you're talking to someone about your theory about the thing, which I buy into the Molotov cocktail theory, and someone else says, I don't believe that, I think it's this, then you don't trust them, and it turns into your own ending of the thing. Can I trust you? You don't like, and it just lives forever.
So McCready either is or is not the thing, and Childs either is or is not the thing. So that's it, done and dusted. We'll sort that out for everyone.
I think it was the helicopter. The helicopter's the thing.
So our highlights, though, some big moments in the thing.
Yeah. Yes, easily.
Rusty, it's you up first. Your summary and score for the thing?
10.
Short summary.
Yeah, it is a really short. Come on, I'm not going to give it anything less. I just have this theory now where if my DVD collection went up via flamethrower, what would I need to buy again immediately? And this is kind of up there on the top of the list in my top 10 that I'd have to own again, because it's one of them films that I come back to again and again and never tire of it. I always love it. It's quite inspiring for me to see this film, because I just think this is just pure energy from Rob Bottin.
Never took a day off.
Real class from Carpenter.
Oh, man.
Amazing work from Russell. The whole cast is just incredible. The writing's incredible. Dean Cundey pulls out an absolute genius move with how this looks. I just adore the film. I think it's fantastic. I'll recommend it to anyone. And if people don't like the thing, then I kind of don't really want to speak to them again. So it's an easy 10 for me. Fantastic film. Love it.
Well, as I've said throughout this episode, there's loads of talented people worked on The Thing, and that shows in spades. John Carpenter was a driving force, of course, and it feels like a Carpenter film in the best ways possible. His mastery of tension and horror is constantly on display, and that's always a great sight when he's at his best. The cast are excellent, especially Kurt Russell in the lead, one of his best performances for me. The music from Ennio Morricone, the bum. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And, of course, the practical effects work we've talked about, masterminded by the lunatic that is Rob Bottin. That's extraordinary. That still looks great to this day, 40 years later. Some plot holes and some lack of characterizations in the writing are a bit of a shame to me, but that representation of paranoia brought on by lack of trust is one of the best examples of mistrust in film. So, for me, it's not perfect, but it is one of the great science fiction horror films and my favourite John Carpenter film. So in all, I'm going for 9 out of 10.
Fair one.
Okay.
Is that enough, Westy? Are you going to cut me off?
No, it's still big. That's absolutely fine. You didn't say you didn't like it. If someone goes, I don't like it, then that's it. 9 out of 10 is fine. That's fine.
All right, good. And Matt, what about you? Summary and score, please.
Yeah, like I said, the top, very important film for me. But I think it's one that stands up even without that nostalgia. I think if anyone came to this for the first time, I think they would still be knocked out by that incredible score by Morricone, those sensational effects by Bottin, really good performances. I think it is a very smart and clever script, and Carpenter pulling all these elements together in career best work. And yeah, to repeat, it's a film I have been obsessed with for as long as I've been obsessed with films. No pun intended, but this film got under my skin from the first view, and it's been there ever since. I'll never tire of watching it. I'll never tire of reading people's theories about it. I'll never tire of talking about it. It quite possibly is my favourite film of all time, so it's clearly going to be a big old flesh-ripping, head-exploding, eye-popping 10 out of 10.
I wanted one more.
Massive. So overall, that leaves The Thing with 29 out of 30. Huge score.
John.
So if anyone's not seen it, check it out.
Yeah.
Pretty good. It's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Let us know your theories in the comment section as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that's all we have for this episode of The Cutting Room. I hope it hasn't made you all weird and pissed off. So please like, subscribe, and share this video. That does help us out a lot. And to support us in what we do and gain access to extra bonus videos and podcasts, please support us on Patreon as well. Your help and support on there is massively appreciated. And the more support we get, the more videos we can make. That's all for this episode. Nobody trusts anybody, and we are all very tired. So I think we're just going to wait here for a while, see what happens.
Do you think I should set fire to my room?